everyone. Welcome. And those joining us from outside, welcome as well. This is our run of Impossible Landscapes, Dennis Detweiler's seminal book for Delta Green. Um, it's a horror show, so for those of you who are just tuning in, be prepared. It's surreal horror, so you could run into all kinds of different things. But mostly it's going to be dealing with people's perceptions of the universe. So hopefully it's not too much for folks to handle. But if it does, no shame in having to skip through parts or even just stop in the middle. And for the players, as always, if anything starts to bug you, throw me an X and we'll sort things out. Last week our three agents got called into a job, an operation down in New York City, coming in from various places. Greeby and Gaucher are living in New York now, so it's easy for them. Gourmet had to come in from Binghamton, a few hours away, and come into the city for what they were told was Operation Alice. They are tasked with helping the FBI catalog items in a crazy apartment. There's a missing girl named Abigail Wright. Her apartment, when they walk into it, it's completely empty of furniture and the normal stuff, except the walls and ceilings of the main room and the bedroom have been turned into a collage of sorts. There seems to be found objects glued, epoxied, and otherwise pasted all over the walls. And their job is to catalog it all. They've been given a cardboard box full of Polaroid cameras and Polaroid film, gloves, paper to write down the manifests, everything they need, including broken down banker's boxes that they can fill with whatever they can get off the wall and catalog. When they first walked in, they took a moment to sort of take in the whole thing, while Gaucher checked all the windows and the doors, because part of the FBI and police report information they had said that Wright went missing, but her door was locked. So they were checking for weird entrances and that sort of thing. Where we left off was they had just finished losing a bit of sanity staring into the abyss that is the collage, and we now need to find out what they want to do, how they want to tackle this great project, because not only are they there to find the reason the Delta Green got called in was because someone in the FBI who's DG friendly noticed a occult symbol somewhere in the whole mess, and so our team was called in to track down the occult symbol and then just determine whether or not there was any issues with unnatural incursions or problems that they needed to be taken care of. So they're doing that job as well as doing the job of their cover. So before we jump into the work, why don't we have everyone introduce themselves real quick. Let's start with Gaucher. Minty, tell us about Gaucher a little bit.
Gaucher is trying to figure out the best way to phrase this. If they were evil, they would definitely be a manipulative sociopath. And now they're not. If they have to be a little forceful with some people or mislead some people for the sake of the greater good of communities, well, you gotta control a contagion sometimes, even if it's a mind-bending one.
The government employee that all the conspiracy theorists fear. Yeah.
They don't fear me. They love me. Who told you otherwise?
They love you, yeah. All right. Mouse, tell us about Greeby real quick.
Agent Greeby? Yes. So, I gotta think of what can I actually say. Ooh. She's, I guess all you would know about her is she's a Russian, younger woman in her early 20s, she in her early 20s? Actually, I have to go back and look at the math on that. Anyway,
mid 20s at
late
this point.
20s at this point. Anyway, living in her van in New York City. She works in as a cook in kitchens in New York City, and yeah, she moonlights for Delta Green whenever they need her. She's got an avid interest in the occult, although I would say probably none of her colleagues know why.
All right. Not mysterious at all. All right, Tom, tell us a
Yeah.
bit about Gourmet.
Hi, Agent Gourmet. He is a young man, age 30, in excellent physical condition. Has a perfectly trimmed brown mustache. He works for the U.S. Marshals. Doesn't really advertise that to anyone. And is a kind of a curious guy. He really likes to try to study all the angles of things, try to understand the logic behind things, try to anticipate when he's chasing someone, trying to anticipate their moves. So he may be at times moving glacially slow to help with situations because he's trying to analyze everything ahead of time.
Does he often suffer from decision paralysis?
Yes, like the player. Yes. Yep.
It's always best when the players can keep the characters similar to themselves.
An analysis paralysis.
All my characters are the same.
Yep.
It's kind of like Simon R. Green's characters. It's always the same characters, just in a different book. Love you, Mr. Green. Okay. Where do you guys want to start? How do you want to tackle your 2 assignments?
Right. So, yeah, I think we had tried to kind of look at it in a larger, like take a step back and kind of look to see if we could see any patterns, like overall in all of the collages, and that's when we lost some sanity.
Yeah.
So, maybe now we start picking it apart. I don't.
Yeah, because we were trying to look for a pattern or a reason, and there just doesn't seem to be one that we can tell. And we didn't want to just start pulling stuff off the wall until we had kind of exhausted all the.
Like maybe there was a pattern, but it was, if you did, it wouldn't be. It's not on the surface. You would have to like go through the layers before anything might pop out.
I think as long as we just take a lot of photographs as we go and really try to document everything as we go, and that way we can kind of have all that to go back through if we need to. So yeah,
doing the job that you were assigned to do. And Gaucher went and picked up like a gallon of acetone to try to dissolve some of the epoxy and whatnot. So you should be pretty well equipped to get high. And
I wish we're going to get really high.
and do your
own theories.
That's not a problem for Greavy.
Yeah. All right, then. Let's see. So I'm going to assume you guys are all working together, or maybe like breaking up into different parts of the area, not just like looking over each shoulder. So there's a camera for each of you for doing things. There's materials for each of you to record whatever you need.
I wonder though if it'd be better to work together on one section, because then we know, like say Gaucher takes something off the wall, hands it to me, I put it down, and then Greavy catalogs it, so that we kind of know where exactly everything comes from, versus us all working separate. And we've got 3 piles, and we don't know what each pile
like an assembly
means. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, because then especially because we're trying to take photos as we go, and we want to make sure,
all right.
Yeah, it's going to go slower, but then we know exactly what came from where. So, and that's Gourmet style. So.
Yeah, okay.
And we've got 3 eyes on sort of things at the same time to kind of help try to catch anything if one person misses something.
Right.
Always good to have some redundancy built in to account for the human error.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to
We are
share
government after all.
with you guys real quick a handout. One of the first things you find after you start pulling papers down, taking pictures, recording what's on them, and for the most part, where you start, it's just like random trash paper. I mean, it looks like she was just finding things in the gutter or in trash cans or just anywhere around. There's like pizza menu flyers and old ticket stubs and receipts that don't for like people that like not her, just like some random person's grocery receipt, just weird, mundane, not really weird, mundane paperwork. But as you peel off a few layers, you find this old phone-looking radio thing.
Is that a military phone?
It looks like a military walk.
Yeah.
And so it looks like a military backpack radio. I want to see. Do any of you have any sort of military knowledge? I forgot to jot that down. I know that Grimshaw does, but
what would that be like? Not
Military
military science. Well,
yeah, military science.
no.
Land land would be better, but nope.
Okay,
so then you basically know what we as people who grew up in the world know. That looks like a military radio that's old. You can't really tell too much what's going on. And I guess if you could stop the share so you don't see all the GM notes there.
Does it work? Is it operational?
Do you test it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you pick up the handle and start like flipping buttons and stuff, and you hear some static, mostly static. You can kind of turn the dial and kind of sweep through the different frequencies. And as you're sweeping through, you hear every now and then you pick up like some voices. You catch India, move around, moon. Sweep through a little bit more. How long do you want to play around with it? Because it's pretty much static, and then occasionally you sweep through and you might catch a piece of somebody saying something, and then if you try to like home in on it, you lose it, and then you have to go to a different frequency, and it can take you can get lost in it for a while.
Maybe just set it aside for further testing when we have the time.
So it's stuck to the wall with a big old dollop of some sort of amber-colored resin. The handset is free, and you can get to the knobs, but
almost like it was wall-mounted to use.
It has been glued to the wall.
But I mean, does it look like it was like the way you'd like take an old-school phone and put it on the wall to be used?
No, it looks like just somebody took a backpack radio and glued it to the wall.
Okay. I was just wondering because it looked like it had a.
It's not even it's not even straight. It's just kind of like
I gotcha. Okay.
There artistically,
Okay. I'm overthinking it, but that's
it's just radio glued to the wall. So if you want to get it off, it's going to take some effort. You're welcome to try. Let me know how you want to try, or you can just leave it there and come back. Come back to it. I am losing my breath talking tonight. I don't know what's going on.
I think to me, just leave it there for right now.
Yeah, you know what it is?
Okay.
I ate a large dinner and it's pushing on my diaphragm. That's what's happening.
Suffering from success.
So, how do you want to get it off the wall? If you still want to try to get it off the wall,
We can circle back to it if we want. If it's fixed.
I think to me, maybe leave it where it is for right now.
Okay.
I have taken note of it. We shall return to it at a later time.
That's fair. Yeah, when you get to large, weird things like that, probably best to move on to pieces of paper you can get off the wall and popsicle sticks and pair of scissors. There's that wheelchair stuck to the wall. It's on a different wall, though. You started away from that one, probably for the same reason. This particular area has just lots of leaves of paper that seem to be covering things. And it takes a while to like get off a piece of paper, because sometimes you have to like get in there with a little spatula and like, poke the glue off and try not to rip the page, and maybe a little bit of water. You're almost like you're having to do art restoration, kind of stuff to be carefully get these things off.
It's like a collage in reverse.
Yeah, after an hour or so, you find another interesting item. Let's see. Yeah. So you pull off a piece of paper, and I'm going to say that the area you're in is sort of like the wall opposite the main entrance where you come in, because it's sort of like the obvious place to start when you walk in. And this area is sort of like, basically you'd see this whole thing from the door. You pull off a piece of paper, and on another piece of paper just beneath it is this. Do you want to share the screen? Strange symbol. You can't tell if it's right side up, upside down, left or right. It doesn't make much sense of anything.
Almost looks like an arrowhead.
Yeah, it kind of looks like an arrowhead. It looks like an eyeball, if you turn it sideways. You don't recognize it right offhand. This doesn't look like any sort of occult symbol that you've ever seen. But
it's on a piece of paper.
It's on a piece of paper. Yeah.
What?
Well, it's if you examine it more closely, it's maybe a paper napkin. It's got that sort of napkin-y texture to it, not quite like or maybe it's a piece of paper that's been crumpled up a lot and rubbed, so it's gotten softer. It's sort of a softer piece.
What does it look like? It's written with blood?
Hard to tell just looking at it on the wall. It definitely has that sort of brownish red color. Could be a marker. Could be probably not paint. More likely a marker or some sort of ink, or could be blood.
Definitely put in the keep.
You'd have to probably test it.
I feel like we're going through a hoarder's house.
Yeah, and then as you sit there, you guys, the three of you, are kind of like looking at this, like, is that blood? What's going on? You start to feel more anxious, like, well, Gourmet and Gaucher start to feel a little paranoid. Greeby's always paranoid.
Yeah.
Just like slightly depressed and also anxious at the same time, and just like you kind of start to feel like the walls are closing in somewhat as you stare into this thing, and you get this sense of like, oh, I almost understand what this is, but it's just right there. I need everybody to make a sanity check.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh boy.
I was just going to say, can I put it down? Let's see. That's just sanity. Okay.
None of you are adapted to helplessness yet, all right?
Not yet.
No.
Okay.
Oh, failure.
All right. So
I feel like this
Gourmet and Greeby failed. Gaucher, you're okay. You don't take any sanity loss. But you are left with a sense of incompleteness. And I want to make sure I do this right.
This is the part where you get past a secret note.
Right.
It says,
and then yeah, and then Gaucher, as you turn away from it, and like go to get the materials you need to get it off the wall, that sense of something on the tip of your tongue kind of goes away, and you almost have a moment of like, what was I about to work on? It kind of like slips your mind almost immediately as you look away from it. You other two, you need to roll 1d4 to see how much sanity you lose. So you won't be able to mark. Wait, actually, yeah, you will be able to mark failing a sanity
Fun.
roll, but not going insane because you won't be able to go insane on a 1d4. So be sure to mark on your sheet where it lets you track how many times you have failed a sanity roll but not gone insane. If you can do that 3 times in a row, you will become not hardened, but immune to
Adapted.
Where do
yeah,
you do
adapted.
that?
Somewhere on the sheet. I'd have to look.
Where is there an option to roll a die? I'm sorry, I'm driving you crazy with these questions.
Okay, no, what were you looking for?
Where I can roll the 1d4. Oh, hold on, it's on the main screen.
Oh, if you want to just roll a straight 1d4. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if there's one on the sheet. In the chat, you can just type /R space 1d4.
If you in roll 20, if you're in roll
Mhm.
20,
Mhm.
on the top left where those little icons are,
Mm-hmm.
third from the bottom, there's a dice.
Oh.
If you click on it,
Yeah.
then you just click on D4.
And then once that pops up, it works the same as that
All right, I'm just gonna have to do it through the chat.
that thing we put in
That didn't work.
that module.
No, I'm trying to find the.
It's trying to find it. I mean, just knowing that it's in the upper left, and then you have to go over and look at the toolbar, and there's 5 different icons.
Just
can
you just roll it for me?
It's the third from the bottom.
Yeah, just go ahead and roll it for me. I don't want to hold us up too long. Sorry.
But when in doubt, you can always use /R space.
I can't even find that tonight.
Where is the chat?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The chat, the thing that you're sharing.
Right, but what I'm saying is I can't find.
I can't find it. Yeah.
Well, no. Okay. What I'm saying is I can't find where I enter that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not that obvious. You see that little rectangle above the name Bolthra? That's the text enter box. It's just sort of a faint, down at the bottom where it says as Bolthra, send.
All right, I must have it. Oh, all right. See, on my screen it was. On my screen it was. Don't worry about me. Just.
Because real estate problems. Gotcha.
Yes, that's the problem.
That's okay. So you lose 2.
Lose 2 sanity.
Both of you failed your sanity roll, and on your character sheet, we were talking about where you can mark that off.
Yeah, there's a section 13 that says incidents of sand loss without going insane, but you can't type in it, or I don't see a way to type in it.
So
do you see 3 boxes?
Underneath there, it says violence, and there's 3 boxes, and then it says helplessness, and there's 3 boxes.
Right. So click one of the boxes next to helplessness.
Oh, okay.
And that will give you a check mark.
Okay.
And I'm in Gourmet Sheet, so I'll just go ahead and do that for you.
And then should I check it for the I failed last time too.
Did you fail a sanity check last time? For helplessness, though. There's 3 different kinds: helplessness, violence, and unnatural. And I think it was unnatural last time.
I don't see a place on here to track unnatural.
You can't track unnatural because you cannot become used to seeing the unnatural. It's always something weird.
Oh, okay.
So basically the way this will progress is hopefully you will get through a bunch of smaller sanity losses for helplessness and violence early on, and you'll get used to that, but you'll never get used to the unnatural, and then slowly you'll go insane as you get exposed to more and more unnatural. Now, that said, getting adapted to helplessness and violence isn't necessarily a good thing, right? Because only abnormal people don't react when someone gets killed in front of them. So, but it does give you a, more role-playing prompts. You can kind of see as you get more boxes ticked, you can become more and more sociopathic, or you might become, start developing other tics that will inform your role-playing. Okay, that done, you guys lost some sanity, and you both find that you feel like you would derive immense satisfaction from sharing this symbol with other people. So you are driven to get it off the wall and share it with folks. I mean, Gaucher's already seen it, so he doesn't count. But you have this, sort of gnawing in the back of your head, like, oh man, I should show this to mom. I should, show this to the postmaster. Just like anybody, that comes across your head, it's like, oh, they haven't seen the symbol. That would be cool. So, how do you wish to proceed now? Just excuse me a sec while I make a note of something.
Well, I know we were taking pictures of everything. So he's probably, when we get the pictures developed, I'd like a copy for myself.
Okay, yeah. So take 2 pictures. Why not?
Yeah.
But you're gonna be good and keep the original in the box of.
Yeah. He's thinking when we get the pictures developed, because it's 1995, that he's going to make an extra copy for himself, like his precious. So.
Right. These are Polaroids, so they
okay.
Immediately. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we were using a Polaroid. Okay. So, all right. So, yeah. Okay. Then in that case, he has an instant copy for himself, and he slides it into his coat pocket. So.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, they left you with 108 packs of Polaroid film.
Okay.
You're actually sort of doubting that that's going to be enough at this point.
Yeah.
You may actually start wanting to take pictures of like 4 documents at a time, or trying to lay things out because you're going through them pretty quickly. But you can always ask for more.
Yeah.
It's the government after all. All right. So Gourmet's going to make a copy for himself. Greeby, how do you deal with this feeling?
Well, I think I would try to resist, but I don't know if I need to roll for that or. I think
you can just resist it. Just be known that
Just want to like cover it up. I'm gonna stick it in a manila folder or something.
Yeah, put this guy in a special folder and keep it hidden.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't like it.
something is weird about this symbol. All right. After that, things go normally. It's you're pulling things off the wall. Things come off a little bit. You have to do some softening with the acetone, so it takes maybe a little bit longer because you got to paint it on, then you got to leave to stand out in the hall and get fresh air, and open some windows, get things aired out. It does complicate things a little bit, but about let's see, you guys started around 1, so hitting at about around 5 o'clock or so. You've been working for a good 4 hours. You come upon one more thing that strikes you as odd, just because it's in a stack of papers that are more mundane, and this is a handwritten piece of something that just looks a little unusual to you.
Looks like musical notes.
Right, it does look like musical notes.
When the red something.
Let the red dawn, or let the red. Can you make it bigger?
No, that's. But you can zoom it on your own Roll20 window. Just click on the picture and it'll blow it up for you, like I just did.
Okay.
Let the red dawn surmise what we shall do when this blue starlight dies and all is through.
Good job.
It's actually in the description down below.
Oh, you cheat! You cheated!
No, I just happened to do this what he advised and whenever and saw it. But thank you. The old people couldn't read it. So.
Sorry, I had to make use of the young eyes for a second.
So those could be notes, but they could be. The other thing I'm looking at is maybe like phases of the moon or something.
I was gonna say something planetary.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's just like on a piece of brown paper bag or something like that. Mm-hmm. Slightly wrinkled, not cut out as neatly in a rectangle as this. It looks more like it was the back of a brown paper bag, then they just ripped off a rough rectangle.
This is a very frustrating part where the player knows musical notes, but I have to ask myself if the character would, and I don't think they know how to read sheet music.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where you get to, if you want to, invent why Gaucher recognizes sheet music. I mean, how many people in a middle class upbringing don't at least have to play the recorder, and have some sort of music class? So it's possible that
Yeah.
there's a reason Gaucher recognizes it.
I mean, you can recognize sheet music, but not know what
Yeah.
Know how to play it.
notes
Yeah.
are. I mean, the accent looks like to me like the accent is on like dawn, because I don't know if that's like the highest note, if that's the way you read it.
Yeah.
The red dawn surmise what we shall do when this blue starlight dies and all is through. Cheery.
Red Dawn. Is it? Red Dawn, Blue Starlight. Out of everything we've seen so far, have we noticed this handwriting on any of the other notes so far?
No. I mean, not as far as you can tell. Nothing jumps out at you. It's like, oh, this is definitely some other handwriting. There have been a few other pieces that were handwritten rather than some typed piece of paper.
Wait, I just had the thought of all things. Okay. In the handouts for shit, where is it? The satchel on the Polaroid. I think was it said there was writing on the back of the date?
Yeah, on the back of the Polaroid that she took of herself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it in the actual Polaroid handout, but that does sound familiar from the case.
Oh
file.
yeah, I think I wrote it down. Hang on. Give me a second here in my notes. It's here somewhere.
Delta Green, the game of notes and where it pays to pay
Right.
attention. If there is, Gaucher's going to try and compare that handwriting on the back of the Polaroid with this, because if this is something she herself wrote, that ups it on the priority list of what to keep.
Okay. Right then. So give me a forensics check, I guess.
I actually have forensics.
Oh,
It's
at what
only 20,
level?
But I have it. 20.
20. Yeah, go ahead and roll. That's not quite high enough to auto succeed.
It is high enough to fail.
It is high enough to fail. Well, there you go. So that means that you'll get better at it.
Oh, here it goes. Polaroid of a woman in yellow tank top. On the back, it says Wright, WRIGHT, comma A, period. So I'm guessing that's the name. And then the date 1-June-94.
There you go. Yeah. And it doesn't make note of who wrote it. So let's assume it's a selfie. So she signed it on the back, being an artist. Abigail Wright. Maybe it's the same handwriting.
But maybe she didn't take the picture. Maybe somebody else took the picture of her and then wrote the name and the date on the back.
Yeah. It looks like a selfie pic because the angle looks, definitely like she was holding the camera out.
Well, but people didn't tend to do that in the 90s, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
She was an innovator.
But that's what it looks like. Hey, she's an artist. She was weird. Why was she taking a picture of herself? Who knows? Artists, man.
Yeah.
But you can definitely tell from the picture that, she's the one holding the camera taking the picture. Doesn't mean that she's the one who wrote the date on it.
Right.
Could have been her father. Could have been her next door neighbor. Could have been the cops who found it. But yeah, it kind of looks like the same handwriting, but you can't tell for sure. You'd have to bring it to an expert.
Right. I think maybe take a few extra photos of this so we could maybe pass it around, like maybe take it to a musician or maybe take it to an astrologist or astronomer. Sorry. Because I'm just curious.
Okay. Well, it's sort of the end of the day, in terms of work shift, heading into like dinner time. Do you guys want to break and go see about finding other people? Do you want to work through the night? What's your plan for the rest of the day? You've gone through a shift.
Gourmet tends to want to keep working. Maybe just stop to eat when he has to, but just will continue to work. So,
I'm fine with
Okay,
that.
so the moment it's like hit 8 hours and 1 minute, Gaucher is already trying to figure out where to get food from. And it's not like I'm starving. It's just pointing to first Gourmet. Allergies.
none.
Preferences.
Lebanese.
All right. Gravy.
Mm,
New York.
Allergies.
no.
Preferences.
Pasta.
Of course, you do give me the most opposite things of each other. All right. I will.
Gourmet will just give a slight chuckle and be like, Italian is fine with me.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It doesn't have to be Italian.
Well, maybe we'll do Lebanese tomorrow night.
It'd be Japanese.
Yeah. All right. I need everybody to give me one more sanity roll, just because you've been in this apartment for 4 hours, focused on this crazy collage, and you're starting to think that maybe you're sensing a pattern. Yep.
Oh.
All right.
I don't sense anything.
Everybody succeeded. All right there. Yeah. So you shake that off.
We're all used to working long hours.
Yeah.
It should, as you stop and start to like think about other things, it's just kind of like, whew, yeah, I kind of like was really getting zoned into this. I think I need a break. So you're not really like compelled to just work through food. So do you guys want to all head out to find some food? What's your plan? How do you want to attack the rest of the night?
He wouldn't want to corrupt the crime scene with food. So making sure everything's locked up tight and, leave and then, but not take a long break, come back as soon as possible.
I think I was eating the hallway.
Not savages.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I would, be fine with just eating wherever's the closest.
Yeah.
Last,
And you would probably know what's the best place nearby.
I would. That's true.
Avoid.
I could point you to like the hole in the wall that the other people don't know about. That is like the most delicious food. But
So you guys let Greavy take you to a sit down. You agreed on Italian, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. Head out to a nice Italian place. Are you just gonna have dinner and relax for the night and not worry about this mess until tomorrow? Did you want to do some research on the weird things you found?
We really can't discuss in public, unless we're, really kind of hushed tones. Right. What seems like the musical notes, would we have access to maybe like almost like an FBI profiler who might know, I don't know what to read the words of a madman. I mean, this looks like there's a definite pattern to it.
Gourmet might know someone. You did say that you have an FBI contact. In the city. Mm-hmm. So you could contact your contact, or you could contact Agent Marcus and have him run it up the chain to someone in Delta Green.
I think I'd rather go that route. Not ask for help directly on something specific to the case. I'd rather go through the correct chain of command.
Okay.
So
so you have his phone number.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. How do you want to
probably call him and just see. We have something interesting we came across. We'd like some help, perhaps.
Hello? I'm sorry. I think you have the wrong number. What is this about? And this is definitely Marcus's voice.
Hello, Marcus.
Nope. Sorry, there's no Marcus here. I'm pretty sure you have the wrong number. Good luck getting the right one. Click.
My mistake. All right. Okay.
So it occurs to you that this is not a secure line.
Okay.
Yeah, as you're hanging up, you're like, all right, not a secure line. His wife could be in the other room. You don't know.
Okay. All right. So it's something we got to do it in person. So
either that or, what's the line from Wrath of Khan? you got to speak in code. Hours would seem like days.
If Gaucher hears trying to talk to Marcus, they'll casually slide the post-it note with the code word over to Gourmet to remind them of what.
I think he's not going to pick up again if I call. So I think I kind of blew my chance for the night. So
it's not like he's got caller ID. No, not many people did in '95, right?
That's true. So we just picked up the phone and talked to anyone. We were brave people.
So you can try again. Gaucher, you can try if you want.
Yeah, why don't we have somebody else, a different voice call?
Gaucher will pick up we'll call the number.
Okay, yep. Hello?
For the last time, please stop spamming this number with these strange ads about fellatio.
I'm sorry. I really think you have the wrong number. Thank you.
If these calls do not stop within the next 24 hours at this time, the consequences will be dire.
24 hours? Okay.
24 hours.
Good night. Click. See, you're not sure if you got the message through. Either he's going to meet you in the park in 24 hours, or
Gaucher's going to throttle it for picking that code word or making them say it.
I made you say fellatio.
Hey, he picked the
that
code
does seem
word. Trying to come up with something that you wouldn't just normally say.
Unless you're in Times Square. Right? So.
Yeah. And then they're not going to say fellatio.
Exactly.
All right. So we have a potential meeting with Agent Marcus tomorrow evening in Madison Square Park. You want to do anything for the rest of the night?
Gourmet would like to work for a couple more hours, but I'll let Greeby respond first.
Yeah. Let's go back and play with the radio.
Hey, do we want to hold off on pulling anything off the wall?
We don't have to pull it off. We could just
No. What I mean is there was more stuff we could continue pulling off the wall in the meantime.
Yeah, you can do that while she's working on the playing with the radio.
Yeah, I think as long as there's two of us taking stuff off, kind of cataloging it, and we can.
How long do you want to spend?
Let's say we get back at 6:30, maybe 2.5 more hours, maybe.
Well,
I'm sorry, say again?
Oh.
Sorry, Gaucher's got an idea, but I'll let you finish.
Got an idea about what?
Gaucher is looking over the police report and noticing that they have a neighbor listed as an acquaintance, Thomas Manuel. And they're wanting to see if maybe they're up at this hour for a impromptu interview.
Okay. Gourmet will work on the walls. Gaucher will do an interview, and Greeby will play with the radio.
Yes.
Split the party.
And you were saying about how long did you want to work, Tom?
About 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So about 9 p.m.
Yeah. All right, I'm just going to make a quick note of this.
Every little pen scratches our impending doom.
Right?
What's that?
Every scratch of that pen, I just feel my doom just ticking forward on the doomsday clock.
It's
I'm
like
just
it's like,
gonna just keeping track of what's going on.
it's like when Jason Carl says, "Let me make a note."
It's just like, well, there goes my blood pressure.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's do the interview first. So you said you wanted to talk to Mr. Manuel. Let me get to his page on
Gaucher wouldn't go through the effort of appearing super professional, but they'll at least look put together. You know, straighten their clothes, get rid of any stains, just look like a working professional, not like a corporo or a government professional, because then people get a little swirly.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I assume you go up and knock. You hear some shuffling. Someone comes to the door. Who is it?
Mr. Thomas Manuel,
Who wants to know?
I don't have a warrant and I'm not here for you. I'm part of the team investigating the disappearance, and I would like to ask if you have time for me to ask you some questions about Miss Wright.
Oh, and you hear like chain get unlocked. He opens his door. What's that? You said you hear about Laura?
I'm here to ask you some questions about her. I've been reviewing the files, but, well, I'm much better in person than with paper.
Sure. Yeah. He. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I've been. What do you want to know?
Well, I suppose the first question is, may I come in?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, come on in. Then he kind of waves you in. The apartment is very Spartan. It's he's got like a stereo next to like a little chair with headphones coming off of it. Looks like he just set them down. You can kind of see the little analog things kind of beating a little bit. Very austere, not much going on, but he offers you a seat and says, "Can I get you some water or something?"
No, thank you. Sorry to interrupt you this late. I see that you were enjoying your downtime. Now, Mr.
Yeah. I was just about to, go do some painting in the workshop, but so no big deal. It's perfect timing.
You're an artist as well?
Yeah. Everybody in this building is an artist of a sort.
Well, you need to do your painting, and I would like to ask questions. No reason we can't do both at once. If you're comfortable with me seeing your workshop, I can ask while you paint.
Oh. Well, I don't usually paint while people are watching.
I'm not watching the painting.
I mean, I don't mind showing you my workshop, but I would be uncomfortable trying to paint while you watch. That's not something I usually do. It's very personal, very emotional work.
I fully understand. I assume Laura was of a similar mindset, very passionate about her artwork, correct?
Oh, yes, very, very passionate. Wonderful painter. She sold a few pieces not too long ago.
At Mercury, correct?
Where?
Gaucher's
Can you
referencing...
boost your volume a little bit? I'm having trouble hearing you. I'm already partially deaf as it is. Oh, he's gone. Oh, my God.
Ooh. Let me stop leaning away from the mic.
Yes.
She sold some pieces at Mercury, correct?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I sadly haven't had the chance to see much of her work yet, but I hope to change that once we find her whereabouts.
Oh,
Now,
no. She's moved on,
I think it's a bit premature to assign that.
No, yeah. She figured it out and moved upstairs.
Could you elaborate on what you mean?
No, she figured it out, took her stuff, moved upstairs.
to the apartment upstairs or the palace?
I think she's up on the 6th floor.
What room or what apartment number?
I think it was 6A.
6A. And have you seen her since she's relocated?
Oh, let's see. Last time I saw her was. Hang on a sec. Right. Oh, yeah. It was back in May, like end of May, 27th, 28th, something like that. We had a going away party for her in the smoking lounge, and she moved up with that no account encyclopedia salesman.
I'm surprised that you would have a going away party if she's simply just moving up a few floors.
Well, it's a special initiation kind of thing. I mean, maybe less going away and more. Yeah, sort of going away. Because, I mean, I haven't seen her since.
Initiation into what, if I may ask?
The upper floors, I guess.
Fair enough. And I believe you were about to show me your workshop.
Oh, yeah. Hang on a sec. Let me get sorted real quick. Grab my keys. Yeah, let's go on downstairs. Everything I need's downstairs. So he leads you out, locks the door, and leads you out of the building and down into the basement. So, he's making small talk. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I got to deal with the night manager. He lets me set up down here, and as long as I keep things neat and tidy. So you walk in through the basement, and there are sort of little cubby areas for like individual storage that people can use, and then back past that, there's a sort of larger room that's set off that is set up as a painting studio. Hang on a sec. I even have a workshop.
If there's a special graphic for it, that means I've done screwed up.
So here's roughly what his workshop looks like. If you want to, I gotta share again. Hang on. I undid the share. There you go.
Okay.
So yeah, just a fairly standard setup. There's oil paints and gouache and some acrylics. There's what you call it, utility sink off in one side. There's cans of linseed oil and turpentine and pretty much everything you need to have a functioning painting studio. It's all laid out down here. It's nice and cozy. There are a few paintings that have been finished that are maybe being waiting for
Purchase.
a showing of some sort. I can share those with you right quick. First of all, the big thing that you see is that there's this big blank white canvas there that is in the main picture. And there's a little post-it note on the bottom. It says, "My great work." So I'm guessing he's...
Big aspirations.
Yeah.
Oh, these are charming.
This one in particular catches your eye.
Yeah, the minute Gaucher sees that one, they just stop dead in their tracks for a moment.
Yeah. Here, I can leave that up while I look at something. I do believe that... Yeah, go ahead and make a sanity check.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's like a big one, but I want to double check and make sure it's not like a earth-shattering...
Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
We have officially failed a sanity check.
All right. There we go. Yeah, let's just say one sanity because maybe he saw the same thing. It's not like it's um, super earth shattering, but yeah, this definitely stands out to you as the very same clown that you saw out on the street walking away from Madison Square Park.
They kind of pause at it and try to ignore the chill going down their spine. I'm
All right.
sorry.
Yeah.
This
So he's like,
piece is quite interesting. Can you tell me more?
"Oh, this piece? Yeah, this is well, I call it the dance, and it sort of represents the youth in all of us and the it's and he just kind of like trails off and he's finding it very difficult to explain um and then he mumbles something about not being a writer and that's why he paints and what does it make you feel?
Terror.
They actually do have to take a moment to not say what's on their mind and have to phrase themselves carefully. I think it's supposed to be joyful, but some of the choices here, it seems as if something is pretending to be joyful, but hiding something. Something dark, something violent, something sad. It's putting on a clown mask, and it's dancing with something that is ferocious and pretending to be cute.
Yes, you do understand.
When did you finish this piece, if I may ask?
A few months ago. Yes, it would have probably been mid-May.
And the others, when did you finish these? They're quite technically skilled.
over the last over the last few months. Yeah, I don't know. Time flies. Sometime it must be in the last few months or so. And he gets sort of a
And do you,
confused look on his face, like, has it been months? Has it been weeks? Kind of starts muttering to himself and loses focus on you. Stares at his big white canvas for a while.
Mr. Manuel,
Oh, I'm sorry. I kind of forgot you were there.
it's quite alright. Now, I'm going to ask you a few questions about Laura, just so I can have something for my report. Were you and Laura close in a platonic sense or in a different sense?
I mean, we were close, like colleagues, right? I mean, we didn't see each other often, but occasionally we would talk about painting and talk shop and that sort of thing. Um, you know, we would have little gatherings and parties for those in the building, and sit and chat. But we never went out or dated or anything. Just like passing in the hall, doing laundry, that kind of stuff. Neighbors.
Understood. And leading up to the last time you saw her, did Laura's behavior or general attitude towards things have any drastic changes? Any increase in anxiety, depression, behavioral issues, or anything of the sort?
Well, I mean, she fell in love with that asshole salesman.
And what was his name?
What was his name? I'm sure I knew it at one point, but I can't remember.
When did they meet?
Sometime in the last few months, I think.
Understood.
I'm not really sure. He just sort of started showing up and just sort of seemed to always be here. And But Laura seemed happy, so I guess he had some good qualities.
All right. And what was the nature of her relationship with her father, if you're privy to that? Were they on good terms or otherwise?
I guess they were. I mean, she never complained about her parents. I do seem to remember her saying once that her mother had died a while back, so it was just her father. But yeah, I mean, no complaints that I can remember.
Understood.
I remember seeing an older gentleman um, in the building, at her apartment a few times over the last couple of years. So maybe that was him. I never met him.
I appreciate your candor. Now, I must ask this question, even if it is a bit dour. Even the best of us can sometimes hide when we are struggling. Do you think Laura had any abrupt changes to her life that could have inspired or set off a depressive episode or something of that nature?
Depressive episode? No, she didn't seem depressed. She seemed happy, enlightened.
More so than normal?
Well, I mean, what's normal?
Her version of normal, then.
Well, I mean, but normal based on what time scale? Normal for when she was 12? Normal. I mean, people change. I mean,
Did. Hmm. And Gaucher's trying very much not to call them out for being pedantic.
yeah.
Did she seem out of sorts from what you would normally expect of her behavior? Excessively happy, speaking very brightly of anything that normally she may not make mention of, things of that
So, like right
nature.
before she moved upstairs, you mean?
Right before she moved upstairs.
I don't know. I think she just figured it all out. She just it seemed to click for her.
I understand. Well, Mr. Manuel, I've taken enough of your time this evening, and I appreciate your cooperation. If we find anything about Laura, we will let you know, and if I have need of you again, I will make sure to knock at a more reasonable hour.
Oh no, no problem whatsoever. And thank you for checking into this. I've been trying to, I've been talking to the authorities about this for a while now, it seems, and just nobody seems to do anything.
Well, you know how it is with bureaucracy. You get the police involved, then you have to get the government involved, and then nobody wants to play nice with each other. But we hope to make progress here.
Okay.
Eh,
Well, I'm gonna get back to work. I gotta work on my painting. It's coming along though, don't you think?
the great
And he
work.
gestures toward the blank canvas.
It certainly is showing quite a lot of potential.
Yeah, I think so. I think this one's gonna be the one. This one might get me upstairs.
I very much hope that it brings you what you wish for.
Oh, thank you, and I hope for you too. I wish I could give you something.
Your
Um,
time and generosity have been far more than enough.
oh,
Don't worry about me.
well, thank you. And he sort
I
of
have.
trails off and almost, sort of forgets you almost immediately, and just pulls up a chair and he's just sort of staring at the white canvas with a brush in his hand and just stares at it.
They'll take their leave to rejoin the others and inform them of what they have been informed of.
All right. Meanwhile, Greeby is playing with the radio.
Ah!
Um, and it's, I don't know how long you end up playing with it because it's more of the same. It's static, and occasionally, you'll hear, a voice, typically male, but not always, saying things like Exeter, Gandalf,
Scandal?
Yeah, just weird. Sometimes it's hard to make out the words. It's usually just like one word, maybe a couple. Nothing that seems to make any sense at all. Never repeats, as far as you can tell. But you'd like sweep up and down the dial. How long do you want to spend on this?
I mean, as long as Gaucher's gone, I think she'd sit there playing with it.
All right, make me a sanity check.
I think she'd also try to see if there was like, I don't know, she'd make any connections between the musical note stuff and then like the
Yeah, you can work on that too.
dial.
And the dial. Oh, interesting.
Or like like
can you get
trying to
the noise that you can pick up, sometime.
sanity check.
Success. Yeah, no sanity loss. And after about 10 minutes or so of this, it's just like you're bored. You give up on it. It's just like obviously nothing is going to come of this. The radio's busted. Who knows? Maybe the tuner doesn't work like it's supposed to. You don't think you could get anything out of it. You might as well just rip it off the wall and call it done.
Well, I'm not gonna do that, but
well, gently take it off the wall then. But you're convinced that you're not going to get anything useful out of this. It's just some weird old radio. Do you ever try talking into the radio?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Fellatio.
Okay. Anything else?
Suddenly, a bunch of guys on CBs.
Probably got a look from Gourmet out of that. So just try to think. I think say that like just to make Gourmet twitch. Like I don't know. And then she might say a few things in Russian, like I don't know, like Drug, or Privyet. Just trying to see if see if she gets any kind of response or notices any difference in what she hears.
Okay. Just going to make a note of that. All right, so you play around, speaking into and messing with the dials for a bit, but yeah, you basically get to the point where it's like either this thing's dead broken or just you don't know how to make it work right.
All right.
Are you going to play with the?
At this point, Gaucher, I was waiting for Gaucher to come. Yeah, I think she plays with it until Gaucher comes back, and then she's going to be like, "Oh, what he has to say is way more interesting," and move on.
All right. Let's then see what Gourmet is up to over in the corner.
Really just carefully removing maybe the section next to, because I'm assuming we're like working on like one section and kind of taking it all down. Yeah, exactly. So just continue with the section, just taking anything out. Is it still continue to be like receipts and wrappers and Okay.
Yeah, popsicle sticks, old reading glasses, a tin can, just trash. And then you run across this that catches your eye. And it seems to be a page from a play, typewritten.
Oh, boy. All right.
Don't know. No, it's not obvious who wrote it.
Okay.
But catches your eyes that it mentions Abigail.
Scene: the smoking lounge, a large parlor on the 4th floor. In the room are the dog, Thomas, and Michelle. Enter Mark Rourke. Oh, hello, Mark. Sorry.
Mhm.
Mark, Abigail is gone. She moved upstairs today. Thomas. And? Well, I miss the kid. Michelle. Her dad, that pig, came around. He doesn't like you, Mark. No one likes you. Anyway, she ran off with that salesman. Everyone knows it. Fuck you, you. See you next Tuesday. Come on, guys. Come on. Well, I don't want to push the boundaries on our channel.
Yeah.
The dog
You've had enough
barks.
of the trash mob.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the trash mob. We'd be saying it. Someone is heard coming up the steps. A loud racket reverberating up and down the staircase. Who is that? Everyone stops to listen. Michelle. Who could be down there? Who is that? Mark steps to the doorway and leans to take a look down the stairs. Hello? Hello? Enter federal agents.
All right. So, and just about, after you find this particular play and you're getting to the end of the reading, Gaucher comes back in the room and reports.
And Gourmet will kind of turn around, almost feeling like guilty what he's holding, and just kind of just puts it down to his side. Did you speak with the neighbor?
Yes, and we have something strange to discuss.
I do too. But please, go ahead.
My interview with Mr. Manuel went surprisingly in a new direction. I found out that he is a fellow artist in the building, and he alleges that Miss Abigail simply moved, quote, upstairs to apartment 6A. He also alleges that she has entered a relationship with a salesman of some sort. At one point, I believe he referenced them as an encyclopedia salesman, but didn't seem to confirm that. No name, no age, no identifying information in that regard. As far as he understands it, she showed no behavioral changes leading up to this, and as far as he understands, she had no ill will or no issues with her father, and she showed no other signs of something happening in her life. He did, however, possess artwork of a strange figure that I noticed in the neighborhood lately that he claimed he finished several months ago during May, right around the same time that Abigail disappeared. As to what that means for this, I'm unsure, but it did come across strangely.
Gaucher, I think you ought to read this. I found this on the wall. And he'll hand over what looks like a page from a play. You want me to put it back up you want to put it up back on the screen again, or?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, what'd I do with it? There it is.
Why do you guys find all the interesting stuff? The radio was like a total bust.
Well, stop making your sanity rolls.
I thought I wanted to make
Gotta
my.
start failing.
Thought I wanted to make my sanity.
No, it depends. Do you want to stay sane or do you want to find interesting things? If only you could choose to fail.
If only. Gaucher kind of looks at it and their eyebrows like start knitting together. He even specifically mentioned a smoking lounge. What?
Right.
How old is this?
It's a plain piece of paper with typewriter ink on it. So
So like old school typewriter.
Yeah, so it could be anywhere from a day old to probably less than a decade because paper hasn't started to yellow.
Okay. But I mean, they had printers in 1995, so
Yeah, we had inkjets and a few laser jets, and of course dot matrix printers. Right. People were starting to get home inkjet printers at this time, so it was. But
there was definitely still typewriters in use.
Yeah.
Gourmet, while Gaucher's reading it, Gourmet wants to go back to the wall and start to look to see if maybe he can detect like other pages maybe nearby or
Okay, how long do you hunt around?
just a minute or so. He's resisting the urge to just start pulling shit off the wall, looking for more, and is trying to remain calm.
So no other pieces of no other like excerpts from a play or this play or whatever, or any play for that matter, show up in the near area.
Is it possible this woman has faked her own disappearance and has, perhaps in a psychosis, has created this play and informed others of her intentions?
Okay, but how would not the other agents not have talked to her neighbor and not have gone and checked upstairs already if he's like, she just moved upstairs?
That's the strangest thing. The reports say they talked to the neighbors and nothing came of it. But if Mr. Manuel was this forthcoming, then either A, he is completely lying, or B, they didn't want to include this in their report. That is a concern.
The moving upstairs, do we take this literally, or is it a coded reference to something else?
I tried to get to the bottom of that, but he specifically mentioned the 6th floor and apartment 6A. Whether or not that was to throw me off, or whether he truly believes this, I cannot determine at the time.
And how many floors does this place have?
3.
Okay. That's what I thought. I didn't think there was more than this. So okay.
So there's no 4th floor for a smoking lounge either.
I'm just double checking the handout for the FBI and the police stuff. But if I seem a little distracted,
no, that's fine.
What if we are dealing with? Let's go back to your psychosis theory. Of course, her file doesn't indicate anything other than suggested evidence of obsessive-compulsive tendencies, but I'm not seeing anything confirmed here from a psychiatrist or a mental health professional, so I will simply assume that for all intents and purposes, she started out as baseline mentality. Now she's disappeared, and at least one neighbor is now confirmed to present bizarre behavior as well. Is there some sort of communicative agent of something here?
Are
we looking at it?
Yeah, we'd have to do a chemical analysis of maybe what's been stuck on the walls. Maybe the artist is sniffing his oil.
I'm not sure if it's...
But how would that explain... Wait, actually, out of character, you told us about the clown, right?
Gaucher hasn't yet.
No, okay.
We don't know.
Gaucher just mentioned like they saw it.
That showed something that he had seen recently. Didn't explain anything.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind then.
So we don't know anything about the clown. So
you know that there's something that disturbed them, but not that it was a clown.
Right.
Okay. You didn't see that symbol that we found on the piece of paper anywhere in his studio, did you?
I didn't have
Not
enough
at first
time.
glance, no.
Not upon first inspection, but I didn't have enough time to do a thorough analysis. What is concerning is he seems undisturbed at some points, concerned about her disappearance, and other times seeming as if he fully understands that she moved upstairs to a floor that does not exist, to an apartment that does not exist, with a salesman that he cannot identify.
Did you tell us about the blank canvas?
I think they would have. They would have explained kind of the general setup as they read over the play.
I wonder. I don't know how you could get back down there. I just wonder if, like, if you put a black light to it, would it show anything, or do we think it really is blank?
He seems to contribute to it in some manner, but visual inspection, it's just a blank canvas. I'm not sure if he's truly doing anything to it or if he's still just obsessing over it. As to how this relates to Miss Wright, I'm unsure. At this hour, though, we're probably not going to be able to talk to anyone else unless they're staying late for their own reasons.
Is there a way to get up to the roof of this building?
Do you want to go find out?
Yeah.
All right. Easiest way to find out is to walk up the stairs. So the way the building is set up, when you first came in from outside, remember how it kind of took a little dog leg into a hallway that went, down the middle. You had Abigail's apartment straight to the left, and then just further down there was on the left a flight of stairs, on the right the doorway to Mr. Manuel's apartment, and then just a little further down on the left past the stairwell, a third apartment. So the stairs seem to go up the let's call it the left side of the building, and they run up into another floor that pretty much laid out like the first floor, except there's 4 apartments, so because there's no need to leave space for an entrance. And then the third floor, same thing, 4 more apartments up there, and then a flight of stairs that goes up to a closed metal door, with a nice exit sign over it, and the same this the sort of fire safety kind of door you would see to the roof of any building in New York.
Doesn't have any signs that say, alarmed door, do not open, or anything like that?
No, it doesn't seem to be alarmed.
Is it locked?
Nope, not locked. Yeah, opens up onto the roof.
Okay.
It's a nice night out. Maybe a tang of rain in the air.
What's on the roof? Any kind of trash, debris? Anything?
No, it's pretty clear. There's it's like a flat roof. You know how it goes, and it goes out to those weird, fake castle crenellations. So it's tarred. There's a small, like a French bistro table and a couple of chairs for people to kind of hang out up there if they need to. It's set on packing crates, to protect the roof, kind of thing. It, set up like a typical, New York apartment building roof. Nothing weird.
Anything on the tables? I mean, on the table.
There's an empty beer bottle and an ashtray.
Okay. Just looking around, smelling, just still doesn't smell any different than the rest of the area, or
not really. No, you get hints of tar paper and just New York City night.
Right.
I don't know what the space smells like, but
yeah. No, that's fine. He's just like a hunter almost. So he's almost
just
smell different than
This is just like a mundane New York neighborhood. You catch kind of a whiff of some cooking from down the street.
Okay.
One of the local restaurants, but that's about it.
I told you there was Lebanese nearby. So.
Any cigarettes?
Tomorrow night.
You mentioned there was an ashtray. Are there any cigarettes?
Yeah.
There are a few cigarette butts in the ashtray.
Can you tell? Just the butts, though. Probably can't tell from the butts.
Are they wacky tobacco or something?
No, they seem to be regular cigarette butts.
I'm just curious if they were the old gold cigarettes.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can. I'm sure somebody could tell.
They're clothes.
Oh hell, make a forensics check. Maybe you'll get lucky. It's like I was like, don't most cigarette butts look about the same? I'm sure that
Yeah.
they must be a little different.
But you can
from
tell the
brand
difference
to
between a
brand.
joint,
Yeah,
industrial cigarette.
you
Is
just
that
roll a
good?
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the like one of the best things you can roll. It's not a critical. It is a critical. Yeah, one's an automatic critical. So yes, they are. A couple of them are old gold cigarettes mixed in with some Marlboros and
She can
some.
tell the
some
serial number from the pack where it was
yeah.
produced.
I'm
I
trying to
was
remember what was the brand that Mom and Dad smoked.
shit. What did they smoke? Miller or no? That's beer.
No, that's beer.
Marlboro.
Merit.
Oh, Merit.
Merit. That's the one. Yeah.
Merit. I was like,
That's
start with an
Merit.
M. Merits.
Yeah.
So okay. I mean, I don't know that matters or not, but that's the brand of cigarettes that was purchased using her credit card in Maryland was Old Gold cigarettes.
Yep. A very popular
It's popular. Okay.
cigarette brand in this universe.
All right. Well, try to find close.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if she smoked, but someone who was here did.
Yeah. A few of the cigarettes. Well, there's probably like what 5 cigarette butts in the ashtray. Cause
I mean, but no, like lipstick.
two of them have
it.
lipstick on them. The other 3
Okay.
don't.
Okay. All right.
Large apartment on the 4th floor.
What kind of?
Still?
Oh no, I'm sorry. What brand of beer is it?
Oh,
bottle.
Schlitz.
Was there any? If we looked in her refrigerator, did we notice if she had Schlitz in there?
Her refrigerator was empty.
Okay. All right. And granted, it could have been anybody else in the building out here, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Manuel did mention that the people in the building would occasionally get together and hang out, and
Okay.
he didn't say where, but
Okay. Upstairs. So.
Yeah. could be the
in the smoking lounge.
yeah.
Is this the smoking lounge?
It is sort of a 4th floor.
Right?
Seems about as close as you would get to a smoking lounge.
But Gaucher, when you were talking to him and he was referring to the smoking lounge, you didn't get the sense that he was being euphemistic.
Do they perceive this place as something else than what it is?
Could be. It's not dressed up fancy or anything. It's not like they've decorated it for a party or anything like that. But I mean, someone who's suffering from delusions might, in their mind, make this out to be more than it is. You don't. I mean, of the 3 of you, I guess Gaucher is the one that would be most familiar with mental health issues, but I don't think that's your forte.
Nope, they still got the base 10% in psychotherapy, so
Yeah.
it's like they maybe have like an intro class here and there, but nothing like intermediate and beyond.
Yeah.
Nothing. All right. So,
All right. So nothing of interest up here.
Yep, just a plain old roof.
We have a connection, though. We have a connection between the neighbor and whatever this plate is. They reference 2 things that do not exist. 3 things if we imply with the salesman. Meaning that either he has to have seen this or there has to be a connection between him and this room. Whatever that connection is, I am unsure, but I feel if we dig into it, we could at least make some progress on what's going on here.
Before Gourmet leaves, the player's gonna hate himself. He's just gonna look up. Is there any telephone wires going above us? Is there a clear view of the sky? I mean,
Yeah, you got a pretty clear view of the sky. There's some cable lines that run across from this building to the next building, and then off to I don't know how they string up cable in New York City in '95, but yeah, there's cable, there's power. I'm guessing power probably runs under the street.
Yeah,
but cable might not at this point. I don't know. Jeffrey, why aren't you here?
Yeah, player's going to kick himself if he didn't think. Just look up. See if
Just
there's
look up. Yeah,
anything
there's
there.
no
All right,
no
nothing to see.
bat symbols in the sky. No weird shadows across the moon. It seems like
Okay.
just a normal.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm done up here then.
But you definitely notice cable and power coming in.
Okay.
I want to go back down on the radio,
Okay.
and I want to actually say, Abigail, are you there? Can you tell us how to get to the 6th floor?
Okay.
And then I want to sing the little, or at least recite. I mean, I can't sing it because I can't read the musical notes, but
Well, let's say that Greeby can.
yeah, let
Or-
the
or
red
figure out how to
dawn,
sing it. You make up some sort of tune. Go ahead and do that.
let the red dawn surmise what we shall do when this blue starlight dies and all is through.
All right.
And then wait to see if I get any response.
You you think maybe you hear an uptick in frequency of the of like words that you're hearing, but nothing really sounds like a response to you. But it does seem like you're hearing more stuff. Like maybe you're getting, instead of one word at a time, you're getting a couple words at a time, maybe 3 at the most. You two standing there listening behind her, you're still hearing like barely anything, mostly static. Every now and then a word.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, you can't hear you.
It's just like a headset, right? So
Yeah, she's got a headphone, but you can kind of, it's loud enough that you can, you can pick up just the static and like maybe Alice.
Do we
static.
sense anything when she's saying those words? I mean, do we feel anything?
It does kind of send a chill up your spine, just because it's kind of creepy.
Okay. No, that's fine. Just
but in the way that when you go to a haunted house experience,
mm-hmm.
the collective experience can be creepy, even even though somebody looking in from the outside might be like, "What are they doing in there?" Yeah.
Maybe we should talk. Maybe we should talk to more of the neighbors tomorrow.
If you'd like. I mean, it's probably like 9 o'clock at this point.
Before she hangs up, Gourmet wants to go over and just kind of put out his hand like, "May I?"
Mm-hmm.
And he would like to recite the same words into the phone, but he's going to say it in Swedish. Which now, whether or not anybody knows he speaks Swedish, but yeah. This might be the first time they've heard him speak Swedish. So
right.
Just for shits and giggles, just
right. Okay.
Oh, we could play a game. How many languages do we all know between the three of us?
Because if nothing happens, he's going to try it in Spanish after that. Just see what happens.
All right. Yeah. And again, you feel like you hear an uptick in responses. It seems to be more coming through than you heard before.
Okay.
Protocol.
Okay. He won't bother with the Spanish. I was just kidding.
Yeah.
He'll probably just like hang it up gently, and turn and says, "Well, definitely when we speak those words, regardless of how we speak them, there seems to be some bit of response."
And in Gaucher, what you can pick up, just hearing the overflow from the speakers, you don't hear any difference. You're just basically hearing static coming over.
Goshi just looks like they're about to do something that they hate. They will also grab the phone. And
Telephone game.
they'll first recite it. They've done it in English. Has Greeby said the words in Russian?
Yeah. Well, she said some stuff in Russian, not those words.
They'll recite the little song in Russian, but then they'll immediately follow it up with paging apartment 6A. Please come in. Apartment 6A. Please come in.
And you say that in Russian?
They'll say the apartment part A like in English, but they'll do the song in Russian because
Oh, the song in
why
Russian.
not? It
Okay, I
seems
didn't-
they're saying it's stirring stuff up. They'll give it a shot and see what they see.
Yeah. Now you all seem to hang on, I can't talk and take notes at the same time. It all seems to, you hear more conversation, more information coming through. It's still not making sense in terms of what they're talking about, but the strings of words almost sound like a code of some sort, and you feel like you could almost figure it out if you just spent a few more hours listening and talking into the radio.
I almost wonder if we have to start transcribing what we're hearing.
I'm going to say no, because then I'd have to make some shit up.
Fair point.
This.
Maybe we need to go just sleep on it.
Yeah.
Let's save this for another time. And they'll hang the phone up.
Okay. All right, then what's your plan? It's like I said, it's around 9:30 at night. You realize that you spent about half an hour farting around with the radio, and it didn't seem like that.
Should we take the kind of the pieces of serious evidence that we found? Should we take those with us?
Well, we took photos of it, right? Or
Right.
you think?
I'm suspicious about leaving them here.
You want to maintain custody, chain of custody.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Any of us could.
All right. Well, I vote that you take the creepy symbol on the napkin home with you.
I have no problem with that. He'll take it and put it in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
My precious son.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. So, something I read in a book once.
Okay, so you guys break for the night, lock the doors up,
Mm-hmm.
lock up the building after you, and head to your various domiciles.
Well, Gaucher's going to do one last thing.
Okay.
They are going to... I'm trying to think what would be a powder that we have at the moment. Is the kitchen like completely empty, or does it still have like something like a salt shaker or something?
Yeah, there's a salt and pepper shaker. There's like a beat up old skillet, and in the back of one cabinet you find a can of peas.
They're going to go to all the windows, like the windowsills, and also to the door just as you open it before they close it, and lay down a line of it. So if anyone crosses over and isn't paying attention, they're going to disturb it, and they can tell if someone tried to access the place in the morning.
Oh, so you set up the can and the salt shaker and the skillet so that, yeah. Okay.
Basically a I know you're here trap.
Yeah. And then they have to actually try to put it back the way you did it.
Going full
okay.
Light Yagami.
Clever. I like it.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
So let's start with Gourmet on your way back to walking down. It's just a couple blocks over to the hotel that you're staying in. You're passing people along the way, a few people, and you've got this lovely sign in your pocket that you really feel like if you shared it with people, would make you just feel so much better.
It's evidence. I can't.
Evidence can't share the evidence. Okay, you
No,
resist.
no, yeah.
Okay, sounds good then.
When he gets back to the hotel, he might look at it longingly, but
Oh yeah, if you want to pull it out and look at it, then
doesn't want to share it with anybody though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you take good care of that. You also have the box that's full, or it's actually probably 2 boxes at this point, of various things you've taken off the wall and Polaroids.
I think the things he's most concerned about are that napkin, definitely the sheet that looks like it's from the play.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one of the phone we can't take because that's still
Right.
attached to the wall.
But the little song,
the song, yeah. He wants, that's the stuff he's most concerned about, and I would assume that all is easily in like a envelope or
yeah, you can slip that in a manila folder.
Yeah, so he's just taking that manila envelope back to the hotel with him. So,
all right. You guys do anything before heading to bed?
I'm gonna swing by the kitchen, by the restaurant, and just formally put in that I'm gonna need to be that there, that there's something that I need to take some time off.
Okay, yeah, they grumble about it, but
yeah,
I guess they grudgingly give you the time you need.
Don't want to leave them in the lurch. So
I can't believe you're backing out on us for Friday night and Saturday night. I mean, come on, it's our best day.
Yeah. I know.
They give you the stink eye. They grumble. You get the sense that maybe it won't be so easy to get time off in the future.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You are well versed in looking for jobs.
Yeah, I am. I like this one. I like this group of people, but
makes sense. All right. Gaucher, Gourmet, anything before bed?
Head back to Hervé.
After that vigorous.
he's a creep.
Well,
Gourmet will
It's actually-
take care of himself before bed.
it's actually with the cult symbol in hand.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe not this time, but he's just feeling a little pent up. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So.
Just taking care of business. All right. So, despite that, you all 3 sleep terribly. You keep waking up with, out of nightmares that you can't remember. Just awful sleep. You're just you barely get into REM before you're waking up, and it's just a terrible night. Let's see.
This is what usually helps him sleep. So.
Yeah, make a sanity test.
Okay.
All of us?
Yeah, all 3 of you. This will determine whether, if you succeed, then you'll be okay, just a little tired. But if you fail, then you'll have some penalties for the tiredness. Is that all 3 successes?
I don't know if mine went through.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's see. Well, hold on.
I have to show you how to turn
it went
time.
through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it did. Okay. I just want to make sure that wasn't an old roll. So, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn on timestamps, make sure. I thought I had them on. I do have
That's
them on.
creepy. I rolled the exact number that is my current
Ah, there it is.
sanity points.
Perfect. All right, good. Yeah. So, yeah, you have a terrible night. You're a little tired in the morning, but no penalties for lack of sleep. But, yeah, just really weird nightmares. And you still have this itch in the back of your head about, where's that napkin with that sign on it? It really would be great to show it to the concierge, or you're not at the hotel, or, Greeby's thinking about that nice cop that checked on her yesterday and how it'd be cool to share that with him. That sort of thing. It's a little itch in the back of your head.
That's weird.
All right. So it is Friday morning.
Bagels.
August 11th. Get some bagels. I'm sure you can find some good ones.
Yeah.
Espresso.
Yeah. Gourmet's probably up early. Of course, wants to get in his normal exercise and running.
Yep. The hotel's got a little gym you can get into. You know, treadmill, a stairmaster.
Yeah.
You know, some free weights. Not much.
And did we? I don't think we decided. Would we just meet back at the?
No one specifically said anything, but you can, you know, always retcon that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Or
assuming we
call
would
each other in the morning or whatever.
Gourmet would probably want to get there early. Yeah, he'll bring bagels and coffee for everyone, and he will bring the items back, keeping them in that envelope, not opening the envelope, and hasn't touched anything. He's just gonna sit quietly and just think and wait for the others to
Wait for
come.
the others to show up.
Yeah.
All right.
I wish I could have as much patience. So
Yeah. So yeah, Greeby and Gaucher arrive about the same time. Walk in to see Gourmet sitting down with a cup of coffee in the hallway and just waiting patiently for you.
There's bagels if you'd like.
Bagels. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably a good place to stop for tonight. Next week we will tackle what happens on Friday. Hopefully Alan will be able to join us, and Agent Grimshaw might show up this morning as well.
That'd be great.
I'll have to check with Alan and see how we're gonna. What delayed him a day? What took Grimshaw so long?
And we're immediately suspicious of him. So
Yeah. I mean, we know you, but why were you late?
exactly.
How dare you not be
Thank
here.
you all for playing tonight. Thank you all for watching us play tonight.
Thank you.
I hope it wasn't tedious with this. With investigations, can get a little dull if dragging things along. So good.
And to my other players, I hope I am not driving you crazy with his slow, meticulous, patient approach to everything. So
It's great that the way to
no.
explore all these different things and go down these rabbit holes.
Yeah. So
It's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. All right. Well, next week we are next Monday. We are playing some One Ring again. Our third episode of Star of the Mist. We're going to do that on Monday night. Wednesday, back to some Dragonbane with the Trash Mob. We had a lot of fun with that. If you're not familiar with it, it's a fantasy game, but our players, the group we have, they're absolutely disgustingly filthy. So if you are easily offended, you might not want to watch it. Otherwise, please.
Definitely PG-13.
No.
Verging into R. Yeah.
Oh, I think it's
so
like
nice.
I think it's not quite X, but it's it's heading there.
For mature, TVMA.
Exactly, yeah, TVMA definitely. And then Friday night, we're back. Oh, excuse me, Thursday night, we're back here with more Delta Green.
Yeah.
So, anybody have anything they want to plug, advertise?
No, you covered the Trash Mob for me.
Okay. No. Oh, Menti, you have something?
Wait, we're not doing that next week. Nope, actually, false alarm. I thought I was trying to hint at something. Never mind.
Okay. You and I do have something coming up, but we haven't really released all the details about that yet. So
We're not allowed to talk about it.
not
No,
yet. No. We'll keep that a surprise for everybody. So okay.
All right, cool. Well, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good
See you
night.
next week. Bye.
Good night.